So obviously, a unique situation, but there's going to be lots of those, perhaps different innovations, right?
Mhm.
But agreeing mutually to kind of test out something new, to get some insight on their side on what's testing out, and then obviously to deliver that successfully. An
Yeah,
organization like the users are winning, the organization is winning, you're winning, and so is the account manager in there. So
definitely.
it's a really, really beneficial story. Thank you. So, okay,
Sure.
let's boil it down. Um, how about three do's or don'ts that you would give to anyone, whether they be building a new relationship or trying to further a currently existing one, or approaching things with new goals and new approaches in 2022? Um, so, with regards to account management, or if you want to kind of take that, that you actually think that rather than account management, people should be looking elsewhere in 2022 in
Mm,
terms of stuff, I'd be really interested to hear on what your three do's or don'ts would be.
okay. Okay, first one, don't believe the hype. Like no, no matter what the situation, it's never gonna be as good as what they're saying. So yeah, like some bid strategies are amazing, some, creative recommendations make sense, but it's never gonna be as good as promised. So keep that in mind. And this relates to the networks and kind of trajectory and everything. So approach it with a grain of salt or a
Hmm.
bucket of salt, depending on the situation. But yeah, so don't believe the hype. Definitely would be one of them. Another one I try to describe this to kind of all interaction is be nice. Like it's not hard to do. Be courteous, be kind, be open, and be honest. I think when you do that with any team, you're going to get somewhere better than you would by being closed and untrusting. On the heels of that, don't trust anyone. No. On the heels of that, like keep in mind, like we said earlier, keep in mind the motivations and where they're coming from. So they are trying to grow your account. They want you to spend more. Most of the time, it's going to be in a way that you're only going to spend more when you're hitting your targets, and they know that as well.
Hmm.
Um, but keep in mind when they are recommending something which you're thinking this doesn't actually sound like a good idea. You don't have to try it.
Hmm.
It's good to test, but at the end of the day, you're the expert. You're the one who knows how to run these ads. You know your product better than they know your product. You know your users better than they know your users as well. So you can use your own judgment. So don't rush into testing something just because they're hyping it up. And now we did the full circle, so we're back. Don't believe the hype. Yeah, so those are three kind of do's and don'ts. But in general, like just think about your product first. I think that would help a lot. So if you have your product in mind, you're kind of the evangelist there. You're doing a big part of it already. If you keep your product in mind, you're going to work well with the account management team because you're going to make it clear that you need to grow your product, you need what's best for your product, and they should respect it.
Nice, very nice. I love the last point that you're saying there. And I think I can't remember who said this, but a nice summary is you can be kind on people but harsh on subjects, right? So when you were saying before, you can challenge, you could be confrontational on something that
Mm,
someone is saying or a project or an approach, but you can do so in a way that is still being kind to people. And I think sometimes people really miss that. Um, and I
oh
think
yeah,
it holds a lot of people back because there's no harm in being confrontational on what somebody's saying to better understand, where they're coming from. But
yeah,
we're all humans at the end of the day.
definitely. And I mean, like the thing is, any account management team, they're gonna have multiple clients. You're not the only one,
Mm,
unless you're, I don't know, massive. But they're dealing with so many different things at the same time. They're getting so many emails from disgruntled clients saying like, "Why are we not hitting our targets? Why isn't this working? Why are you recommending this?" And then they have their own internal reporting to do. They have deadlines. They have goals. They have all their KPIs. If you keep that in mind, you're gonna, I don't know, like they're gonna enjoy working with you, and naturally, then they're gonna start prioritizing you because
mm.
it's a pleasant experience.
Yeah, I think that's a rule of thumb for all interactions as well.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Listen, this has been great. Thank you so much for your time. If people want to carry on this conversation, pick things up with you, what's the best way and get in touch?
Anyone can reach out over LinkedIn. So Jeremy Widdowson, you'll find me there. I think there's only, well, a handful of Jeremy Widdowsons. So you should be able to find me.
Excellent. All right. Well, Jeremy, thank you so much for your time. Real pleasure speaking to you, and all the best.
Thank you.
Great.